Here's my audience of 3 adults. So, you ever wonder about Canada Day? It was founded on July 1st, 1867, nested in the north woods of the Western Hemisphere. Americans usually associate Canada with maple syrup, hockey, and never-ending winters. Canada has a rich culture, abundant in a variety of unique aspects that make it distinctly original. Today we will discuss its history, its people's values, and its environment. First, let's talk about Canada's remarkable history. Canada's cultural history includes the formation, which is connected to its cultural influence. It begins with its Aboriginal peoples, which lived in all regions of Canada. They lived off the land, hunting, gathering, and raising crops. They transitioned when the first Europeans arrived in 1497 on the expedition of John Cabot, leading to more European travel and colonization in Canada. This later transitioned to democracy with the Constitutional Act of 1791, which divided Canada into Upper Canada and Lower Canada via the Government of Canada Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada Communications Branch, April 2012. The official Canada name came shortly after by legislative assemblies. Economic growth came after this, with the fur trade of the Hudson Bay Company, which dominated the Winnipeg and Vancouver areas. Later, fish and timber resources came and were transported by lakes, rivers, and roads. The Fathers of Federation followed, which were representatives from different parts of Canada, which worked together to establish the new country, and a new government was established that would change the culture of the people. Second, let's talk about Canadian people's values. They have a flexible and open society where women have a great impact on the workforce. Immigrants have many opportunities, whether it be voting or thousands of refugees that came in the 1950s. They have a very multicultural society which enriches Canadians' lives, especially in cities. 1/3 of Canada does not have British or French descent, and today there is a continuation of immigration through diversity. There's much art and culture and literature, with novelists, poets, and educators in both English and French that have a significant cultural impact. Some of them that you might recognize are Sir Ernest Macmillan, Stephen Leacock, and others. They have a great visual arts history, including the beginning of abstract art in 1950s with the Group of Seven that made wildlife landscapes. They have many long history of performing arts, including a network of theaters and world-renowned art companies. They have many filmmakers that have international awards, and Canadian TV is also very popular. Their personal values include order and space. They're very private about their families and make sure to ask permission before using anything that's not yours. They don't like disruptions, loud talking, or rudeness, and they like to keep order and respect other people's space.
So they hate us.
Via the Immigrations, Refugees, and Citizenships of Canada, November 2016. They value punctuality and they like to be on time, which is very respectful to them. They value if you're 5 to 10 minutes early, and they take deadlines very seriously. They like respect, politeness, tolerance, and social order, and they don't like harassment about people's looks, beliefs, age, and gender. They like to disagree, but they like to do it politely. They are very clear and direct and don't beat around the bush. They like political correctness and don't want to exclude certain groups of people. Finally, let's talk about Canada's environment. They value their environmental culture and why it's unique to Canadian citizens. Canadians value their rich and unique resources and respect their environment. They have vast conservation lands and appreciate nature and revel their preserved lands. They have many at-risk species, but they support life cycle phases, including breeding, spawning, feeding, and species migration of salmon. They have large and distinct wildlife population with 1,138 vertebrates, 488 bird species, 142 mammals, 18 reptiles, 22 amphibians, 83 freshwater fish species, 368 saltwater fish species, and I'll show you guys a visual aid at the end, which is a chart that shows the endangered species that are prevalent today. And Canadians protect their species in order to keep the country's valuable resources continuing to thrive. They have an ecosystems branch of British Columbia, which is responsible for biodiversity system standards and policies for the province and continued success. Their recreational opportunities include sport hunting and fishing, which is a social activity enjoyed by many of the residents. They have social, economical, and cultural benefits. Social are ones that people all enjoy, economical by selling the licenses and fuel for the different activities to people, and cultural with more visitors and more cultural enrichment. The people are very strong pride about their bountiful resources and have a deep-seated respect for the environment. They have millions of protected acres and a respect for the environment and appreciation of nature. They try to use the land responsibly by not polluting and by not allowing habitat destruction. They maintain parks and open space, environmental friendly policies they adapt and follow. Canada is an amazing place with a rich culture, so let's review what I discussed. They have many history, values, and environment. Canada has a rich culture, abundant in a variety of unique aspects that make it distinctly original. So, that's what it's like to live in Canada. I encourage others to go check out Canadian views, culture, values, and beauty. Okay, and then I just show you guys again.